You say your dad loved to travel. Remind me, was he the one who founded the Caribbean Eye meeting?
Yeah, so more or less, he was one of the founders. The way it worked actually is he had started this meeting called the Islands meeting that ultimately then merged with ACES meeting called the Caribbean Eye. But before, what sparked the Island meeting was, we went on a family vacation. It was me as a kid. I was probably 4 or 5 years old with my dad and my dad's best friend, Bruce Hess, is an ophthalmologist from residency from Geisinger. And they said, you know what, let's just go on a family vacation. I knew the Hess kids. They're good friends of mine. And as a kid. And so we went on this group family vacation, and it turns out all the dads did is talk ophthalmology the whole time. They're like, you know what, next year we should bring this guy and he'd love this and we'll talk about this. And so it went from like 2 people to 3 people to 10 people to then 20 to 50. And so each year it got a little bit bigger. So it was started off of this idea of, you know what, from Ohio in March around spring break, it was always around our spring break, we'd go to some great island, St. Thomas or St. Croix or Jamaica or Barbados or whatever it might be, and visit a new island. And he would more or less pick and choose a group of docs that were all his colleagues that were kind of on that leading edge of private practice, and ultimately kind of came to what we call a Caribbean Eye now. And it still has a lot of that same flavor, kind of a family friendly meeting with leading ophthalmologists running large private practices that want to kind of go to that next level or continue to stay on that leading edge.
So was that part of the deal when you took over the practice, was inheriting the responsibilities of running the meeting?
Yeah, that's right. It's funny you say that. Actually, even that, when I first came out, I felt like too busy. I was like, I can't afford to go to any meetings. Like the first year, I sort of just hunkered down. In retrospect, I should have been more involved. And I looked at the Caribbean Eye at that time had gone a little bit old school. And at the time, it was all my dad and his colleagues. I'm like, oh, they're kind of older docs, a little bit washed up. It became more of a social thing for them. I feel like it kind of ebbed and flowed. And then actually, Jim Loden, a friend of mine now, his dad was an eye doc as well. And Jim Loden got involved with Caribbean Eye and sort of reinvigorated it with the young doctors. He brought in like Toby Tyson and a number of other docs that were sort of a new generation of leaders. A lot of them second generation docs that kind of reinvigorated Caribbean Eye to kind of get it back on track. So I kind of attribute Jim Loden's efforts, reestablishing it, and then he pulled me back in. He said, "Hey Wiley, I know you used to go with your dad. Why don't you come check it out again?" And so I reengaged, and now one of the program director run it with Rob Weinstock, and it's been a blast being involved with it all these years.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to going to Cabo next year. That's gonna be a ton of fun. Hopefully, it doesn't rain the whole time like it did this year in Puerto Rico.